Here's your host, Clay Nelson.
Hey, hi, this is Clay Nelson at Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour. And this show is all about how to really hear what's being said. Like, you know, when your station manager says, "You're on," you're supposed to hear it and be on. I'm sitting there going, huh? Anyway, okay, so middle of December, getting ready to rock and roll, going into the Christmas season, buying Christmas trees, doing all kinds of stuff. And are we happy? Maybe. Do we feel pushed? For sure. Do we really have what we want? Someday. Are relationships working? Maybe. Do you know that I've been told that my show is so energized that it wears people out, that after my show at 3 o'clock, people have to take a nap? I mean, can you believe that? They've even asked me to kind of be a little more slow, you know. Oh, totally. And I'm not doing it. So all you people that are getting tired out there, go to the gym. Buff up, dude. Get ready for me. You got to handle it. So now, how do you really hear what's being said? Now, quite frankly, if you don't hear what's being said, what it costs you, all right? We've all heard complaints from people in our lives about our not hearing. It goes like this. You never listened to me. You didn't hear me. Your head's some other place. You're watching television. You know, you're tuning out the kids, and the kids are trying to talk to you. Or someone walks up to you and goes, "Hello, is anybody in there? Hello?" That was good. That was my own sound effects.
That was awesome.
Wasn't that good?
Yeah, wow.
Knock, 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 knock. And when people in your life have these complaints, what are they really saying? Now, guess what? Now, think about this. When people say to you, you're not present, you're not listening, you're not here, your body's here, your feet are here, but your head's not here. And what they're really saying is, you don't think I'm important enough to turn off the TV, or you don't think I'm important enough to really hear what I have to say. You don't really care about how I really feel. Now think about that. And the truth is we do. We're just checked out. So there's all kinds of things to think about here. Now we're coming into a season, a part of the time of the year where it's all about, I don't know, kind of giving up work and giving up stress and worry and all kinds of stuff. And, you know, Jared, I just reached over and touched a little something over here, and it's got grease all over it. Do you have you got a Kleenex?
I do,
It's
yes,
messing
yes.
with my thinking, you know what I mean? So where I'm at is, and what we're doing is we're getting the grease off Clay because he got in trouble in the studio, is we're talking about, you know, what's it be like to be really totally present and really hear what's being said, all right? And quite frankly, what's it like to be told that you're not and to recover from that? You know, what do you do? How do you say you're sorry? How do you get things going again? Get it? So it's a whole big conversation that has to be dealt with because most of us don't do one thing at a time. We've been multitasking for so long, it's unbelievable. And get this, to survive in today's world with all the electronic changes and all the information moving from one side of the planet to the other side of the planet almost instantaneously, all the news about the war and the news about the economy and news about foreclosures and the news about health costs and the news about just about everything. You have to listen and talk and type, and I could go on and on and on. You know, the only time that I'm not multitasking is when I get on my Harley. And I'm not saying go out, this isn't a Harley commercial, but I'm not saying go buy a Harley. It's just, you got to have one thing on your mind when you're on a Harley doing 65 miles an hour down the freeway, and that's staying alive. So what would it be like if you got your life in order and you were totally present, like riding a Harley? Or you were totally present, like, do you remember when you watched your babies be born? You were present to that, all right? Or do you remember the last time someone you loved completed their life? You were present to that. Or do you remember, I remember one time when my son said, you know, it was Mother's Day and we were at T-ball. And CJ goes up to the bat and he goes, "Mom, this one's for you." And that little squirt hits a home run. And he comes whooping around third base and he goes, "Ma, I told you, this is for you." And I can tell you right now, Mom will never forget that. Neither will I. And he wasn't even talking to me. But that was my boy, you know. So it's all about, you know, quite frankly, it's about noticing the fact that when you're not listening, you should be. And when people are talking to you, they're talking to you because they want to say something to you, mostly because they care about you, and mostly because they want you to hear, and they want you to know what they're saying. Listening is a gift. So it's all about, if we all listened to and heard the people around us, if we were really present to what is flowing through our ears and into our brains instead of thinking about other things at the same time, our lives would be much, much more different. Now, how different would it be? I can remember I was being interviewed on a TV show, and I was asked a question, and you know where my head was? I was thinking about Susan. I wasn't thinking about the question I was asked. And I had to ask the interviewer, I said, I got to tell you, I don't know what you just said. Could you repeat it? And he just cracked up because nobody on his show has ever been that honest and just said, I didn't hear what you had to say. I didn't hear the question. Say it again. So he made a big funny thing out of it, but it was really cool the way he did it.
Nice.
Yeah, it was nice. Now, the gift of listening, the gift of listening is think about it. If you really listen to somebody, it keeps you from hurting their feelings. It keeps you from doing things that makes people feel like you're making them wrong. Most people, when they're listening, they're not really listening to what's being said. They're developing a response. So think about that now. When somebody's talking to you, they get through about a paragraph and a half, and you're already deciding what you're going to say back, either to defend, to agree, or to make wrong. Think about that. It's what we do. It's what human beings do. So what if you could totally just listen? What if you could totally be the person that causes someone else to be heard, totally heard? What do you think about that? That's what I call full and complete communication. So what's it really like, all right, to hear what's being said? I have a communication workshop that I do every once in a while, and it's all about having people getting together and learn how to speak and learn how to listen. The way I get them to do it is I sit them knee to knee in two chairs, and one speaks, and I stop them, and then I say to the other one, okay, now you give them back what they said. And most people, by about the fourth or fifth try, can give back what somebody said, because the automatic way of being for human beings is we hear the start and usually the finish of what somebody's saying. In the middle, we're developing a response, okay? Or we think we know the answer already, and it's boring. All right? So human beings have to relate. One of the ways to relate is to hug, to smile, to wink. Another good way is to communicate. And communication requires a speaker and a listener. So which one do you want to be, and how good do you want to be at both of them? How you speak and how you listen. Both require patience, both require intuition, and both require reading others and their body English. So it's really a trip. Okay? I have to go on a break already? My gosh. I do? 1 minute? Okay. So I'm listening to my producer, and he's saying, well, it's your show. You can do what you want to do. So I don't want to go on a break. So here we are. Mark Twain said, there is nothing so annoying as to have two people talking when you're busy interrupting. You know what I mean? Just gets in the way. Or Woodrow Wilson said, the ear of a leader must ring with the voices of the people. Robert Schuller said, big egos have little ears. Wow! So think about that. All right? Now I have to go on a break. So you're listening to the Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour on KZSB AM 1290. And we're talking about how to really hear what's being said. So get on back here. I'll be listening for you.